After going through this unit, the learner will help in 1. Innovative evaluation means and process. 2. Understand that why there is a need of evaluation for innovative programs. Identify the objectives of innovative evaluation. 4. Logic method for the evaluation of innovative program. Innovation is an ever-changing phenomena. It takes place in a dynamic and constantly evolving systems that is adapting to range of internal and external factors. It is complex phenomena which involves strong desire to know what works and how to make it work better. Innovation is a matter of doing new things or finding new ways of doing familiar things. As innovation has become a core goal of policy, so innovation programs have become important tools for realizing innovation policies. Recently, it has been that the policy makers struggle to improve the performance in particular to help firms to become more innovative, to draw upon science and technology in the enhancement of their competitiveness. Where the evaluation of innovative program helps in finding the solution of various problems, the development of evaluation research emerged from the general acceptance of the scientific method as a means of dealing with the social problems. Commitment of the systematic evaluation of programs first become commonplace in the field of education and public health. Early efforts, beginning periods to World War I, the famous Western electric experiment that contributed the term Hollow effect revolutionized the evaluation in social sciences. The period immediately following World War II saw the beginning of large-scale programs designed to meet needs for urban development and housing, technological and cultural education, occupational training, and preventive health led to the evaluation of innovative programs by the end of 1950. Large-scale evaluation programs were commonplace with the evolution of technology and innovation policy. Beginning in 1980s with a preoccupation with the large-scale pre-competitive and gradually broadening the range of instruments employed through an increasing focus on enhancing the environment for innovation and technology, transfer and the evaluation of innovative programs, measurement of various aspects of ongoing programs, objectives to meet the targets. Program evaluation is a systematic method for collecting, analyzing, and using information to answer questions about projects, policies, and programs, particularly about their effectiveness and efficiency in both the public and private sectors. Stakeholders often want to whether the programs that are funding, implementing, voting for receiving or objecting to producing the intended effect, while program evaluation first focuses around the definition. Important consideration after include how much the program cost per participants, how the program could be improved, whether the program is worthwhile, whether they are better alternatives, if they are intended outcomes, whether the program goals are appropriate and useful, This is a systematic assessment of program to determine number one, how far it is meeting objectives and perhaps achieving other effects. Two, whether it is a meeting these objectives efficiently and effectively, and also how the management structures has shaped the results. Evaluation may be ex monitoring ex post, that is, it may focus on a single project or program or extend more broadly to compass the policy framework within which they are located. Innovative evaluation means evaluation is at heart a matter of seeing how well a policy or program has achieved the objectives set for it. There is, however, a little more in that this deals with and differences between three aspects of evaluation: evaluation of effectiveness, efficiency, and efficacy. The features of innovative evaluations are: evaluation can examine how efficiently the programs operated, exploring the managements of the activities to see whether there was good communication of objectives and progress. Association of rudimentary and ability to detect and address problems as they arise. Evaluation can examine the effectiveness of the program, how far the objectives have been met. This is easier if the objectives have been set in quantitative or variable terms, and if they are related programs against which it can be benchmarked. In assessing program effectiveness, it is common to use performance indicators. Evaluation can further and consider the efficacy of the programs, how relevant it is to the broad policy goals which it was designed to contribute. Beyond these very pragmatic goals, evaluation also involve explanation. It can cost or how and why the program achieved the degree of effect that was realized. It can illuminate issues of programs management and more profoundly raise the understanding of the broader innovation system within which the program has operated. Evaluation may be used in what may seem to be a simplistic manner, but how can prove it to be technically very demanding to operationalize, to attempt to examine the precise value for money and has been achieved in terms of an estimate of the rate of return of public expenditure. Evaluation can also be used to examine intended consequences of the program, intervention, benefits and cost of the activities that were not expected by the program designers or not explicitly spelled out as being among the program objectives. Evaluation of innovative programs. Most programs are introduced as new and innovative, and modification of existing practices. What makes an intervention innovative in our sense is that particular treatment has been applied to population specified. It may have been tried to a small scale, impersonately judged, demonstrate, but never with the realistic and implementation of a broader scale. In simple term, a program innovative, it has not been subject to implementation and assessment in the following ways. The intervention itself is still in an emerging or research and development phase. The delivery system or parts of it has not been adequately tested. For example, a program that includes the untested idea of having high school students provide nutritional education and information to the elderly. The targets of program are markedly new or expanded. An intervention of this type might often cassette recorded language training to immigrant school children who were not present in large enough number to justify bilingual educational programs in individual schools. A program originally undertaken in response to one goal is continued or expanded because of its impact or another objective. For instance, a program provides marked automobile to police for their personnel use may have been initiated to cut the crime rate, but is continued in crucial jobs instantly and keep police close to their punishments. Planning, designing and testing new programs. The evaluation must be capable of understanding a wide range of activities. These activities vary depending on the type program, the relationship of the evaluator to the program, the time period available before implementation, the program, political and resource demands and particularly skills of the program, staff and evaluation groups. In most of evaluation innovative programs, the evaluator will participate in many, if not all, the tasks it involves. Making objectives of the program operational, developing an impact model, including causal intervention and action hypothesis, adjusting the definition of the target population and anticipating client acceptance problems, designing the delivery system, specifying procedure for monitoring the program, assessing impact and estimating efficacy, making objective of the program operational. Objectives may be defined in either absolute or relative terms. Absolute objectives require either that an undersigned condition be totally eliminated, that a desire ought to be intended every one. Relative objective, in contrast, establish standards of achievement in terms of some personal improvement in the existing conditions. Setting goals and specifying objectives requires either a assumption of knowledge about two fundamental aspects of their social solution, situation, value and existing condition. There are a number of formal ways to establish objectives. The full technical details that are some approaches of define the objectives, that is decision theory approach. The approach permits its objective of diverse group to be explicated and ranked. Each group first defines and ranks its own objectives. Another formal approach, evaluability assessment, seeks to produce evaluation with maximum potential utility, where goal attainment scaling makes it possible to tailor goals to individual units within the target population. The result can be summarized to provide to composite estimate of program impact. The approach uses relative rather than absolute measures. Evaluation researcher often reflect to operationalize statements of objectives developing an impact model. An intervention or impact model is an attempt to translate conceptual ideas regarding the regularization, modification, and control behavior or conditions into hypotheses on which action can be based. Fully explicated model are rare. Too often, the intervention model consists of nothing more than the assumption underlining a program operation. These assumptions may have been drawn from previous studies, often undertaken on a small sample, or other local, or many have little empirical basis, being drawn instead from the untested way in which practitioners have performed in past. An impact model takes the form of a statement about the expected relationship between program and its goal. It must contain a causal hypothesis, an intervention hypothesis, and an action hypothesis. Whether causal hypothesis can be found in the relevant substance, scientific literature concerning the socio-economic problems, especially critical for the purpose of program design, are those causal hypotheses that relate the problem to process the program can affect. The intervention hypothesis is a statement that specifies the relationship between what is going to be done in the program and the process, or it determines specified in the causal hypothesis or behavior or condition to be anti-loaded or changed. A third kind of hypothesis, the action hypothesis, it is needed for assessing whether the intervention, even if it results in a desired change or causal variable, is necessarily linked to the outcome, that is, to change in the behavior of condition to be modified. Defining target populations. During the design stage, the issue of target population definition surfaces once again, for adjustment may have been made in the definition in light of the specific intervention being planned. For example, although homelessness is a problem that affects people for all ages, an impact model might suggest that very little could be done for all those who are over 40 and imply concerning effort on the youth. The interplay between defining the target population and developing an impact model is too striking that in some ways the distinction between the two tasks is artificial. The impact model must include a set of hypotheses about the plausibility of the event leading to another programs are most efficient and potential effect when the targets that reach and restricted entirely to units that can benefit from the intervention, that is when the program is neither over inclusive or under inclusive, over inclusive. Actually, especially in the case of projects for which resources are insufficient to cover all potential targets, selection is generally regarded as most efficient of treatment is given mainly to target whether highest probability of successful outcome. Such an appropriate maximizes the likelihood affordable cost to identify ratios and the probability that is positive impact can be demonstrated. Under inclusiveness. Under inclusiveness, While we are programmed to efficient and therefore not over inclusive, we want to effect and therefore and under inclusive, not only may we under inclusive deny opportunities for the participation of targets at its needs or high at risk, but there is also the trade-off already noted between selection costs and resource available for treatment delivery, anticipating client acceptance. Although some programs are designed to cover every eligible target, whereas other depends on voluntary participation, that is a voluntary aspect to almost all programs. For example, an active act of participation is required. An eligible pregnant women receive free prenatal care only if she actively seeks out and participation in relevant programs. Designing delivery system. Interventions, no matter how well conceived, cannot be effective and efficient without carefully developed delivery system. The delivery system of the program consists of these programs, procedures and activities that are used to identify, target and provide treatment. Some delivery systems are comparatively simple, particularly when targets are semi-captives, providing health education in classroom settings in a comparatively simple proposition. Other delivery systems are highly complex, providing special health care for prospective mothers experiencing high risk pregnancies may require obtaining help from formal family physician, obstetrical and pediatric specialist, general hospitals and centers specializing in infant care, developing the evaluation plan. A key outcome of the planning stage of an innovative program should be the plan of conducting the evaluation. The plan may call for comprehensive evaluation that involves all of the evaluation tasks discussed. It may include only selected activities such as procedures for monitoring the program and for undertaking an impact evaluation. Planning of the program and the development of its evaluation plan go hand in hand. The evaluator, however, on the basis of her understanding of statistical interfaces may believe that this group size not sufficient to yield firm results regarding the impact of the program and thus argue reconsideration of the size of target population. Quantify the evaluation may believe that the planned target population is too large and will have leave enough unexposed target to permit the comparison of experimental and control groups. Planning is the evaluation together with the development of the program provides both evaluation and program staff with realistic expectations concerning the evaluation requirements and the resources that need to be allocated to the evaluation. In such cases, there is less likelihood of conflict between the groups. The logical way of innovative program evaluation. Getting started. The This involves thinking about the type of things one will need: money, time, evaluation expertise, support from program managers and staff, and in some cases, official support for the evaluation. As one prepares to start some consideration into the following is essential. Is there sufficient experience to carry out the evaluation? How much time will be decided to the evaluation? Is there adequate budget for the evaluation? Is an experienced internal, external evaluator available to work with? How can program managers, staff and others be involved? How will approval for the evaluation and consent from participants be obtained? Classification of program logic. Here one need to have a solid understanding of what the program is trying to accomplish and whether the program is achieving the set goals. Creating the logical model help in articulating how the program is intended to work and constantly keep in identifying which aspects to focus on the evaluation. Here you have to see the inputs, outputs and outcome, and inputs, outcome and activities need to be classified together. Setting goals and indicators. What are the goals for the evaluation? To answer this consideration, the following questions will help to redefine the evaluation goals. What is the evaluation being planned? Is it for accountability, to document the program results to an organization or funder? Is it to learn the program in one on the right track, to assess the program's accomplishments or to improve the program or something else? What will be the evaluators' results? Program managers, staff, current or potential funders, government agencies, teachers, school administrators, what kind of data will you need to collect to meet the needs of these different stakeholders? What information will they find most creditable and easy to understand? The answer to these questions influence the methods that can be used to carry out the evaluation. If one decide, for example, that the goal is to generate evidence of the program's success, one may then want to focus on outcome once confidence of the program is achieving and select methods that will allow to generalize results to all program participants. Alternatively, if the goal is to improve specific aspects of the programs, one may want to focus on these by changing in depth recommendations from participants and staff. Process questions are concerned with how well the program is being delivered. Indicators may measure the number of outcomes generated. Participants and partner satisfaction with these outcomes or other aspects of program implementation. There is a evaluation mechanism to discuss this issue. When we discuss the outcomes, outcome focus questions look for evidence that the program is benefiting participants, visitors, etc. The question and indicators below look for evidence of change in individuals, awareness and behavior over time. There is a graph to just justify the indicators. The impacts are broader, long term change that your programs has on the community of environment. The question and indicators below look for evidence that environment qualify for this. Evaluation of innovative programs is the systematic application of social research methods to the assessment of social science intervention programs. It draws open the techniques and concept of several disciplines and useful in every stage in conceptualization, design, plan and implementation of programs, where with the help of evaluation, the evaluators do their works in a constantly shifting decision making environment in a pragmatic view, seeing evaluation is necessarily rooted in scientific methodology but responsive to resource constraints, the need and purpose of stakeholders and the nature of the evaluation settings. So far, the successful implementation and execution of innovative programs is vital to have a strong direction evaluation system to guide the successful achievement of the objectives.